Good morning, PSC 2020, and welcome to week 4. So taking a look at the syllabus this week, we will be taking a dive into a topic that can sometimes be a bit challenging to differentiate the difference between civil liberties, civil rights, and even human rights. So our goal in reading chapters 4 and 7 out of the textbook this week is to have the opportunity to understand the distinction between the two, okay? At the most basic level, we need to understand that civil liberties are defined as the rights that we as people do or say things without government interference. Civil rights are those that the government must safeguard and prevent discrimination against the individuals. And so I know that distinction may not seem that broad or that big, but they are two distinctly different things. Civil liberties are dependent upon the structure and action of the government to enforce, whereas civil rights, the government must ensure that each person is treated equally. Now, human rights, which isn't necessarily something we're talking about explicitly this week, but it's a term that we often hear talked about coincide, are those that are inalienable rights. Those can either be given or taken away, right? Those are the result of, the natural laws, if you think about political philosophy, right? This is freedom, this is justice, this is peace in the world. Human rights include both the liberties and the rights, okay? And the structures to which liberties, civil rights, and human rights are protected and defined can have variation depending on the place to which we are talking about, okay? So as you're going through the reading this week, once you've kind of laid out the distinction between these three things, it's also important for you to kind of understand that a country's political culture and the groups representing those political majorities and political minorities affect the liberties and rights a country recognizes and protects. So, therefore, you need to consider then that those in the majority, who most of the time will have the political power, will often find themselves in situations, whether it's good intent or ill intent, impacting the liberties and rights of the minority. And this takes place whether it's in the States, whether it's in Europe, or whether it's in Asia. And so it's important for us to, again, establish the baseline and then take a comparative politics lens to understand the way that these liberties and rights are impacted between this power dynamic between the majority and the minority. Okay. So assignments this week, discussion 4, quiz 4, and keep working on that study guide. As always, I am here to help.